fabulous. But like attracts like, and so I was immediately drawn to Kim, and then a couple months later, we started working. This was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when the Innovation Hub was just kind of getting the plan together, and we were figuring out what we wanted to do. And she calls me, she's like, let's meet. I have some ideas. And I was like, okay, that sounds fabulous. Let's have ideas together. And so we sat and we had coffee and really bonded over a lot of different things, like our connections on even worldviews, projects starting, entrepreneurial support, and what really drives us in what we do every day. And the reason I bring this story up is because I really think that 1 Million Cups facilitates those kinds of conversations where we get to meet people who really view the world similarly. Maybe not 100%, and that's okay, but like when we look at what our mission is as humans as we walk on this planet and our connections to other people and how we want to have impact in what we do, I feel like this is a place for that. And so Kim's telling me about these crazy projects, and I'm always like, yes, 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 let's figure out how to do this. And we come up with some really crazy ideas. And she says, what do you think about 1 Million Cups? And I was like, I don't know, but yes, it sounds great. I love coffee, and yes, we should do this. And as part of the work that I do at CraterWorks, which is helping create spaces and tools for people to kind of live out their dreams, figure out like how do we create these things. I thought that was a great match for her and her energy and what she was wanting to do. And so I was like, yes, let's do 1 Million Cups. And that was in September. I mean, it was a year of planning, and we've been doing this every week almost with a couple holiday breaks since September, and it is incredible, the connections that have been created. And so I am eternally grateful for her and her crazy, meeting my crazy, and then you all joining in the crazy every week. And so what we're going to do today is, and this might be a lot for some of you, and I am sorry-ish. And so Kim's going to talk about kind of the journey of the Southern Oregon Innovation Hub and what that is, some of the projects that are in the works, have come to fruition, next steps. And then I know I feel after I go to a meeting, like, oh, this is great. I feel great. Yes. And what can I actually do next to move my project forward? And a lot of times that's missing for me. I get excited and I'm like, yeah, and then I'm like, what are we doing next? And so I think when you stay for this session, Kim and all of the facilitators here, we really are going to dig into what can we do next? How do we find out what's needed? And what is our role in helping to do that? So I think this is a really high impact presentation. It's a little different from what it usually is, but it's going to be very informative, and I promise you, you will get out whatever you put in to this process. So without further ado, here's Kim.
Thank you, Miss Tania. It's been a great journey. The presenters that were supposed to be here were ill. They will present later. And then I have also been getting over the crud. But there was one thing I really rested and tried to do my best, because it's difficult to miss the things that are important in our life. And so anyway, I had to. Oops, I got to click this. I had to kind of think fast, like, what are we going to do today? And I thought about all you amazing humans in the room. I wanted to take advantage of that in a positive way. So we're going to do something I call the Growth Lab, a work session. So the people that are in the room, I'm really glad you're here. So a little bit about Southern Oregon Innovation Hub. We're funded until June 30th. We don't know yet if we'll get funding, which is concerning just because the work has just begun. It's been really fantastic. The 1MC I wanted to share is outside of this. We are the organizers and leads of the 1MC. So the 1MC is completely on its own, so the 1MC will continue. It's just the Southern Oregon Innovation Hub. We're uncertain about funding. It sounds like we're going to get it because the work has been fantastic, but it's kind of we're on hold. So here's some of the things that we have done, just so you know. We launched the 1MC in September, as Tania shared. Going to keep it going. It's growing. Today's a little probably quiet because we are in spring break, but it's just growing. The energy's growing, and we are seeing the impact out in the ecosystem from 1MC, the connections. We have connected with 60 plus ESOs in both Jackson and Josephine County. We started with 0, and a lot of people were very hesitant because there really weren't conversations happening. So there was a lot of trust building, relationship, connection building to get us here. So that was by being good partners. So those ESOs are entrepreneur support organizations. They are essential. There are a lot of you in this room. I started with Trev and Tania, Craterworks, and the Hive. I really, Kat Bonnie's here, really reaching out to these folks that can support entrepreneurs. The mission of Southern Oregon Innovation Hub wasn't to be here forever. The goal was to really make an impact, build strong, connected relationships, so when it sunsets and goes away, you all carry the good work forward. We have ecosystem building events, the 1MC. We've had a total of, thank you, a total of 35 and counting. Thank you. Events. I tallied up the numbers of people. We're at about 1,300 people that we've connected with since August. So ready, Sarah. Thank you, Ryan. So it's through this work that we have done. I want you to know together. Maybe I lead the charge, but I have not done this alone. Could not have done it alone without all of you being here and supporting and listening to my wild, crazy ideas. Like I slide in. I call it my Kramer look when I go, whoosh. I do it to Trev. I slide in and go, hey, you know what? I got an idea. Colleen knows all about this. Entrepreneurs connected to resources. We're at 50 plus. We started with 1. 50 plus. Daniel's here, and I have something to share later about great connections. Percentage in entrepreneur participation, it was a dismal 0. We're at least probably 25% or 30% of our goal. We launched the Path to Pitch. There have been pitches all over the community, from Talent to Phoenix to Grants Pass to Medford. We're going to have one out in Cave Junction. We're going to have another cool one at the Steam Distillery. I think it's April 28th. We have some design and build innovation events, partner with Tania. We offer 2 of those, and that's where you go in and you start with an idea, just a basic idea, and you work all the way through it to create a prototype. We've actually have some entrepreneurs that are moving forward from that. Created some devices, some games, some other businesses. 2 of those folks are competing in Event Oregon. So these are just the things that can happen through collaboration and connection and partnership. Together, we can lift the ecosystem. We've connected with statewide organizations and hubs. We're working on a food and beverage project. We have folks at the state level, Oregon State University listening to us and wanting to partner. We've got a few different initiatives happening. Working with Visit Grants Pass and Main Street Association. So really, what I want to share with you today, the power of connection. Asking questions, sharing your crazy, wild ideas, and then having people that listen is a really great joy in life. So anyway, we have those local initiatives to support entrepreneurs and local businesses. I'm always looking for grants, looking for other opportunities to support all of you, not just at a state level, but at a federal level as well. And then, we're just looking for greater collaboration, connection, interest, engagement, and involvement in the ecosystem. So that leads me to today. I'm not going to talk a lot. You're going to do the work. So the objectives are, if this ecosystem, it's palatable, you can feel it, it's building, right? We have this energy, we have things going on. How do we sustain it? What if I go away? What if SOIH goes away and we have 0 funding? What does it look like? So today, what I would love to do, why I have you all in the room, is to work together and come up with some ideas, not look at the negatives or the barriers, but what can we do collectively to keep this ecosystem, moving along. I've actually we've not spent a lot of money running the ecosystem. It's spent a lot of the ESOs taking part in it, Trev providing a space. But understand the current ecosystem and its challenges. These are our objectives. Identify gaps in communication, business support, and resources. Develop collaborative solutions, and then connect and develop actionable next steps. For all my wildness and randomness, I have to have action steps or it makes me really crazy. I think this is a wild part of my brain going, and the other part of the brain's like, bring it in, Kim. Action steps, little bullet points. They work really well for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to break out into groups, and you can choose whichever group you would like. Please use your voice. Please share in that space, because what we do today, we'll probably do a couple of these, but it's very important because we can take that information gained today, develop actionable steps, and continue to keep our ecosystem thriving and moving along. And so anyway, these groups are communication collaboration. And it's on the screen, so the directions are on the screen as well. We're going to move kind of fast. I'm going to time us. Food, beverage, service, and retail. I mean, after last week with the boutiques and Rita's, it was super inspiring to have you here. So everyone has a part in the ecosystem. No one's left out. I just want to be very clear. No one's left out. Our service providers, everyone in the ecosystem has a piece of that ecosystem. Whatever you do, you support the economy, you support entrepreneurs. You're all very, very important. Business and entrepreneur support, that's that mentoring, funding, coaching, resources, resource identification, what's missing in capital, infrastructure, training. And then a quick ecosystem map. So here's what I want you to think about. And we'll leave this on the board. Well, no, actually, I think I have to shift. But who are the key players? Damn it. I can shift it back. Who are key players? What's working? What's missing? I love to ask this, who isn't at the table? Who have we not connected with? Who isn't at the table? And then ideas on communication for both counties, because the SOH covers both Jackson and Josephine. So when we break out into groups, it's great having Seth and Dan here, on that downtown piece. So leaders already in this space. Brad, you're familiar with that whole economic movement, YMCA, like how can YMCA be a partner in this ecosystem? So thinking about that when you break out into your groups. So you're going to break out and you're going to list pain points in your pillars. So maybe there's a lack of mentorship programs, disconnect between counties, funding barriers. And then you're going to come up with 3 major gaps in this section, okay? So whatever group, and I have my organizers that are going to help me facilitate this, so it can be wild, it's fine. It's going to get very loud. It's going to get wild and loud. And then what we'll do is we'll have a discussion. Are these issues connected when we find those pain points and those gaps, or where do we overlap? So I am asking you to think out, sometimes outside the box. So before we break up into groups, I did want to make an announcement. Is that okay, James? On a successful part in the ecosystem. So Daniel, wonderful Daniel, has been actually helping entrepreneurs and presented with a downtown app. And Daniel now has 3 customers. And he's working with other organizations. Rita's. And I went and checked it out, the link. It's very cool. Lovely. Yay. So that's how it works. Thank you. Thank you, James, for connecting with Daniel. Daniel connecting. And thank you for being some of the first folks to try it out. So look how simple that was. I did nothing. That was the ecosystem at work. It was someone from GP connecting with a new emerging entrepreneur, or maybe a serial entrepreneur. But either way, that's how it happened. So it was that quick. I did nothing. So that's what you all are going to do. That's that piece that you want to connect with folks. So we're going to break out into... No, I'll provide clarity. So the 1MC, I have a LLC. This is going to get confusing. C Collective Catalyst. So my goal when I resigned as dean, I just wanted to help my community. I have a fondness for GP. I love Central Point, by the way, too. But I had a fondness for my community, and I wasn't satisfied in my role. So I created a nonprofit, an LLC. My goal was I was going to go out in the community and help entrepreneurs. This is what I do. I was an entrepreneur for 30 years, 23 businesses, start, stop, go, start, stop, go. I thought, I want to give back in a space that allows me to be free and to help people and not have barriers. Then the gig came up with SOH. But in the meantime, I love Kauffman Foundation. So we went through that year process to bring 1MC here. So it was kind of an incidental type of a thing. So we created all of that in my next venture. And then I took the gig for Southern Oregon Innovation Hub. Completely separate, but guess what? Right? Interconnected? Yeah. So thank you for that. Yeah, 1MC is its own. It's hosted all over the nation. They're actually building in numbers. So it's its own separate entity. SOH, pardon me? That came out of your innovation hub. Yeah. So when we're doing this assignment, I hope other people are thinking like me and when we're doing this, we're working about the ecosystem. Are we thinking about the innovation hub? Like, what are we thinking when we're talking ecosystem? You're thinking about, we have a current entrepreneurial ecosystem that is, it's there. Right? But the SOH is kind of that container, that convener of helping to connect people with one another, right? Help to move that ecosystem along through events, through connections. We are talking about now, what if the Southern Oregon Innovation Hub goes away? Yep. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. How do we, let's just for today say that SOIH is gone. One MC is staying. That's not changing. I'm not going anywhere. Trev's not going anywhere. But if we today said, okay, there's nothing, there's no SOIH, how would we carry this forward? What does that look like, right? It looks the same, much the same, but it will be a little bit different in that we're going to have to be creative. So, all right. So, okay.
Just into what I want to do anyways. Okay. So, those of you who have been here for my interpretive dance section, this is a rerun, but this is very similar. So, Southern Oregon Innovation Hub is like the building, right? We are all the dancers. So, we are the ones making the moves. So, here's a perfect example. We're all going to stand up, and this will be indicative of your level of engagement. If you are, okay, so we're going to dance. We are going to, there are many different ways, and you're going to interpret your current relationship within your community. I'll give you some examples. So, let's say you're line dancing, right? So, very independent. You don't need a lot of help from other people. You're just kind of doing your own thing. You're all in the same room, but not a lot of cooperation, right? So, that is a way to operate. You could also be doing the salsa with your partner. Lots of cooperation needed there, lots of communication. You're going to have to know what the other person's doing. There is also the 8th grader who's just standing there, staring at their toes, waiting for someone. So you all will determine how you're dancing within your ecosystem, which is the building, which is the Southern Oregon Innovation Hub. And the goal is, after the Southern Oregon Innovation Hub leaves, that building is gone, we will all still be dancing, and we will all still be dancing together, and we will be dancing so rad that people will be like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And they will want to be part of it, and we will be able to dance wherever the hell we want, okay? So, do your own current dance of how you feel you're currently operating within your ecosystem, right? So you might be a little cha-cha-cha. You might just be... Do it, because if you don't do it, it's telling everybody else you're unwilling to be a little vulnerable, all right? And then maybe... yeah, I don't even know how to dance, right? Okay, it's amazing. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, now... All right. Excellent. Thank you, Trevor. All right, now we're going to break up into groups. We got the blood flowing. We're ready to do this. All right. So, Kim, where do you want us? Okay. I'm going to take resource identification.
Okay, Trev shared we can move the chairs into circles. We have 4 tables. The groups are listed on the board. I need someone to have a project action plan. Claudia, if you want to help me. And then I have some stickies and I have pins.
And I'll be standing at the door making sure nobody leaves.
Pins. Yeah, stop. Yeah, block the door. Pick your area. And then I have more of these. Claudia, thank you. So have helpers. So find your space, your people. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Jim. We might have to, if there's too big, we could do 2 next to each other. Ryan, what group would you like to be in? Yeah.
Business and entrepreneur support.
Okay. Who is business and entrepreneur support? Where's that table? Business and entrepreneur support. Do we have one? All right, go with, Kat. Where is the table for resource